Hello and welcome to my little introductory video on the Weka Virtual Environment tool. Since the Weka Virtual Environment tool doesn't actually install any Weka's installations themselves, I have to head over to the Weka page and download some of them myself. Okay, I'm going to head over to the SourceForge website where Weka installation files are being hosted, and I'm going to download a few of them. Okay, 3.8, just zip file. Alright, that's starting. 3.9. Let's download a really old one, 3.6 version. Okay. They are downloading, so I'm just going to head over to my GitHub account, Fragbeat, on the repositories, Weka Virtual Environment, don't do that, and go on the releases and download the binary zip file, the latest release. Alright, they are all done. You can close the browser. Over in the downloads, extract all of them, good. Then we're gonna move them in the home directory. Okay, right. In the bin directory you find shell scripts that you can run the tool, the GUI, and in association with our files. Alright, in order to have this on the path easier, we're going to add that to our bashrc file. You can use any editor that you want, I'm just a VI fan. Okay, we're going to export the path environment variable. Open that again, and let's see. Cool. Alright. Now of course you have to have Java installed. Alright. So if you supply no arguments, it will output all the available commands with a short help. And at the moment, since we haven't done anything yet, there's no environments available. Okay. Right, we want to create one. So we're going to look at the create option. Just a little bit bigger. Alright. Let's look at the create and we'll have a look what it needs by supplying them -- help option. Okay, so we need a name. We want to have 382. Java, we just use the default memory. We could use 1 gig. And the Weka is located in our home directory. We have 382 weka-jar. We don't want to initialize it with, and we don't want to set any environment variables either. Okay. Okay, that's created. So now I can list basically the environments if I wanted to. Yeah, cool. So there's one of them. Okay, we're going to use the same command to just generate the other environments for 3.9 and 3.6.11. Okay, now we're going to list the environments again. Yep, now we have 3611, 382, and 392. Cool. Now let's list the commands again. List commands. So for instance, we have here an explorer, and we need to supply an environment to it. So explorer, and we're going to start at 392. And here's our explorer. Cool. Now we want to scroll up again. We want to install packages. I'm just gonna start up the package manager for 392. It'll take the first time. Alright. Let's install Clope. Yeah, no. Alright. Alright, that's installed. Let's close that. Let's start up the Explorer again. Let's have a look after opening a file. Just any old file will do. Cluster. Yep. Clope cluster is now available. Cool. So now if we head over to 382 in the Explorer, open once again a data set, and if I then look at that, there's no Clope installed. So you see it's nicely separated with the environments. Right. Now if you're wondering where the tool actually stores all its files, you head over in your .local share directory, and you can see there's a weka-virtualenv subdirectory. There has the environments. You can see there's 382, 392, and 3611, the names that you basically gave it. And then inside each one of those, there's a little description that you actually see it's being output. That's basically all the parameters for an environment. And in weka files, you can then see packages that may or may not be installed. In 382 we didn't install anything. If I head over into 392, I can see that Clope is installed. Cool. Okay, so the handy thing is I can also simply just clone environments. So for instance, I'm just going to look at the parameters the clone takes. Alright, so we need old, so the one that we want to clone, the new name, and then we can in theory change parameters like memory or what jar to use and so on, and additional environment variables that I want to use. Or if I don't want to actually copy any packages or props files across, then I can supply a setup only. And if I don't want any environment variables, use this one. Alright, so we're gonna clone old 392, and the new one is 392 test. Alright, it's been created. So we're just gonna start up the Explorer again, to the test environment. Open once again just any old file, and we can see that Clope is available. Cool. So I can also delete environments, and I just have to supply the name. So we want to delete that test environment again. Gone. I can list the environments again, and once again 3611, 382, and 392. The only ones are there. Okay. Now, if I want to clone, I'm just going to put help again, and I only want the setup really, nothing else. Cool. Let's start it up again in the Explorer, and let's see where the Clope is really gone. Let's just open the file again. clusters. Yep, no globe. So it really didn't do anything. And as you can see in the background, it updates things with the new directory. So we're just going to delete that again and disappeared again. Cool. So, for instance, what else can we run? So if I bring up a list of commands again, I can, for instance, run the R viewer, and I can give it an argument. These are basically dataset file names. So, for instance, 392, it's the R viewer, and I have weka-392 data near RS dataset. Let's try that. Then this one, and we've got the RS dataset. Cool. But I can also load more datasets. For instance, everything in that data directory. That might take a while, but I'll just give it a go. And one after the other, it's going to get loaded. Cool. Let's wait for that to close. So that's for running GUI things. However, it's not limited to that. So if I look at the run command, that basically allows me to execute any class basically in Weka. So for instance, if I wanted to run J48, I just provide basically the class name, and then any options that basically follow and aren't consumed by the run command, they basically get passed on to J48 itself. So in this case, I want to cross-validate something. Once again, gonna use a data set. Just use the RS data set and cross-validate on that. Oops, I didn't provide the environment. 392. There you go. Output. And it's easy enough just basically then running on different ones. That's the output on 3611 then. Cool. Now, since versions differ, not all tools are necessarily available. For instance, the workbench was only added later on. So if I workbench want to run that in 3611, output it's not available. However, it's available in 392, for instance, so we can bring that up. Here we go. Right, this is basically what happens if you start things from the command line. However, that comes also with a graphical user interface. So instead of using the wenv.shell script, we use the wenv GUI, graphical user interface one. And if I run that, it pops up and it lists basically the three environments, 3611, 382, and 392. And you see also how it's been set up. Now, this little thingy here is basically starting up the GUI chooser in each one of them. You also see that here from this drop-down list. So you have general options like clone, delete, and update. If you want to, for instance, change some parameters like environment variables, memory, or such things, delete is obvious, and clone if you want to create a new one. Basically things that we've done already on the command line. You can also then start up the R viewer for this particular one. It takes a little while, and you get basically a new tab on this side, which with the output that is generated from this process that we just started up. And down here you can either stop the process and stop and exit it. If you have output that you actually want to save, you can do that here with saving, or copying it to the command line, to the system clipboard, or you can just clean it up. But in this case we just close that. Right, so for instance in 382 we want to start the experimenter. Alright, we're going to create a new experiment. We add a data set to it. I'm just using R as data set. Add 0R as baseline. J48. Like that. And then run that. And we can see the output that you usually see on the command line being output over there. Alright, we can head over into the analysis page and then we can perform a test. Cool. So that's that, and then we can just kill the whole thing if we don't want to. And you can also then see, like with the workbench, things that are not available in a certain version of Weka, they just completely grey out. And if you want to run an arbitrary command, you can use the run command here. So basically the class and whatever options you want to use for it. And if you use something you use more often, you can basically load and save templates. Cool. Alright. Up here you can basically create a new one, and if you for instance change things on the command line in the meantime, you can just basically reload environments, and then here you can just exit. Alright, that's it folks. I hope you find that useful. I find it a really handy tool because I'm dealing quite often with very many different environments of Weka, different versions, and quite often for testing out some packages I don't actually want to screw up my production setup. Catch you later.